Staying bullish in a bear market. Opportunities for businesses. Moderated by Wesley Ellul. Quizando.
Good morning. Welcome to the AIBC Summit. It is day one, morning one, and we're here today talking about a very interesting subject, which is staying bullish in this bear market. My name is Wesley Ellul. I am the CEO, Creative Officer over at Quizando, and today I'm here with an amazing panel of very mixed individuals from the crypto markets. And we're all going to be talking about looking at the bear market from a positive stance, maybe a negative stance, but also from the individual stance, be you an investor, be you a builder, be you someone who's just interested in getting into crypto. This morning with me, I have four very interesting individuals, and I'll let them each introduce themselves, starting with Ludovico.
Okay, so hello everybody, I'm Ludovico, Chief Revenue Officer of Brickken. We deal with the security token. It's not the typical stuff here. But yes, we will launch our DApp at the end of the year, and we're gonna scale with an ecosystem of experts. But I will tell you more like outside of the stage.
Next on our panel, we have Lukas.
Hi guys, my name is Lukas, and I'm the co-founder of Rossi. And essentially, Rossi is an automated asset management tool which allows investors to average down their entry price and basically risk manage their assets, crypto assets.
Next up is Josipa.
Yes, Josipa Majic, co-founder of Revuto. We're a subscription management app. We issue virtual debit cards, and we allow you to pay for subscriptions with crypto.
Fantastic. And finally, we have Professor Srdjan Vukmirovic.
Hear me? Yeah. So my name is Srdjan Vukmirovic. I'm here from Serbia, from Novi Sad. I'm a university professor in Novi Sad, and here I represent the Infinity Games, the platform that will connect small and medium-sized gaming companies and bring them to blockchain.
Now, all of you have very different perspectives of this bear market, which we're in at the moment. And the first question I'm going to say is, how can we make the most out of a bear market as individuals in your sector? What is the one thing that you've done, or you could give advice to for someone in your position to actually make the most out of what's happening in this bear market?
Okay, so for us, for example, it's focus on the product. It's in the bear market, you have to forget about the volatility of your token, focus on build your business, and that's what we are doing. I mean, just focus, close the door.
So it's not about token price, it's now actually about building projects.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. I mean, you can give power and empower your project as much as you can.
Oh, fantastic. Lukas.
Yeah, so this question can be answered from two perspectives, right? From an investor's point of view, and I think from the builder's point of view. From an investor's point of view, you want to average your entry price. Again, that's very important that you get the assets during the bear market, right? And the issue is that you never know when the bear market is going to arrive. And that we can guess it, but nobody knows, right? Well, what we can do, we can start buying, we can start DCAing cryptocurrencies that we like. We can start buying in the projects that we actually appreciate during the bear market. Because again, buying during the bear market will allow to have great gains in the bull market, in the upcoming bull market. And it's a cycle, right? It repeats every few years, every few time. So that's what you can do as an investor. And as a builder, I can say exactly as you said, right? One is to close the doors and then basically really work and do the work, right? And the second is, again, continue doing the same, because as a builder, you really don't care if it's a bull market or if it's a bear market. You always work, right? During the bull market, you also work, right? Mm-hmm. So as a builder, it doesn't really matter, right? What matters is that you have less people that are interested in your product, most probably, right? So you just continue to do what you do, and you try not to care if it's a bear market or a bull market, and then you're good.
What about you, Josipa? What
Yes,
do you think?
so bull market, not the first one, not the last one.
Yep.
The advice for builders, buy a builder, heads down, ship the product. This is a healthy cleanse, both internal and external. You'll get rid of the investors you don't need. You'll get rid of the employees you don't need. You'll get rid of the partners you don't need. So it's actually a healthy cleanse. And as you said, it comes periodically, so it's not a negative thing at all. But it's also a very good moment to kind of regroup and adjust. And to be honest, I think for all of us who've been around here before, I think there's a certain, cathartic moment to every bull market, and this is exactly the same.
Srdjan? Same here. So, for example, networking in this bear market is much easier because now everybody has more time. And during the bull market, nobody will answer your call or LinkedIn. So now everybody had time. So use it for networking to promote your product and, of course, to build it. And in this bear market, there are a few new ideas that came, like soul-bound tokens, and so you can even improve your business development, your software development. So it's more good than bad, in my opinion, to be here now.
Now, from my side, this is the second bear market sort of I'm going through. I just was getting into the space at the end of the last bull, and I'm actually seeing this now as an opportunity for people in the blockchain crypto space to actually stop worrying about the crypto side of things and more look at the technology side of things, because if we take a look at ourselves as technology companies, there's no such thing as a bull and bear market. It's you have clients and you're building your client base. So I think this is a really nice time where we can sort of mature a little bit and say, okay, no, we are a product and we're growing. And yes, our token might not be flourishing to the gods and all the investors coming in, but as technology companies, we can be moving forward. Which really takes me on to the next question. If you are a builder, if you do need funds, have you seen any changes from the VCs and the retail investors in their sort of behavior and how things are happening?
Okay, from my perspective, 7 months ago, 8 months ago, we just closed a round, and it was bull market, was easier. Everybody was interested and very bullish on every kind of project. And now we are raising again, and it's totally different. It's a startup approach. They are asking for KPIs. When you're gonna reach your, okay, I don't remember the name.
Yeah, hit your targets, hit your milestones.
Exactly. Your markets, when you're gonna make money for real, when you're gonna be autonomous. So it's not about your token, it's about, about your business,
Oh, yep.
So it's all about that.
Okay, so now it's all about the business. What do you think, Lukas?
Very similar opinions, actually. We also builders, right? So in Rossi, we're basically building the risk automation software. And I see exactly the same. And that's why actually during the bear market, we try to contact more venture capital companies that are not directly related to crypto, and also asset managers and hedge funds, because again, we are in trading, so for us, it doesn't really matter if we work with VCs from crypto, or if we work with hedge funds, or basically asset managers. And I see that, asset managers, they really don't care because they probably don't understand if it's a bull market or a bear market. But VCs, crypto VCs, they really are very, very afraid of what could happen, and I try not to work with crypto VCs at this moment because it's much harder, right? It takes a lot of energy from you, right?
Yeah. They are also asking for more information and more professionalism, right? I mean, this happened to us. It's like, okay, guys, you're doing a really well job. And it's really rare to see like some professional there.
Because probably during the bull market they were just throwing money much quicker. They wanted to make more money. Yeah, but it's much more healthier now. I would say it's much more healthier as it is right now because again, if you're creating something in cryptocurrency, it's complicated and you must be professional, right?
Okay, Josipa, now you deal with retail as well at the moment, with the retail markets and individuals, or no? Am I?
So we have individual customers,
Yes,
but I would say to the fundraising side, I think there are two aspects of the question. I think one is what's happening with the fundraise landscape for crypto, and the other one is what's happening with the fundraising landscape as it is in general. So what's happening with VCs in general, not only for crypto. And one of the things that was really a theme in the last quarter is that everyone's valuation got slashed. It doesn't matter if you're crypto. It was a down round, and even if it maybe even didn't take place, so maybe it didn't even successfully fundraise. So the fact of the matter is that we've experienced what was a very optimistic cycle, a bull cycle, but not only in crypto, it was in startups in general. And now everyone's sort of waking up and fundraising is becoming more KPI driven. Everyone wants to know not only about your customer base, but also about profitability, which is, a thing. Businesses making profits, that should be a goal. But obviously in moments when capital is so cheap, which it was for the last couple of years, businesses were running negative margins and it was normalized. So now we're slowly waking up to the reality that businesses need to make money one way or another. You can evolve your business model, you can pivot, but I think we see VCs, both crypto and non-crypto, becoming more strict as their entire portfolio valuations are getting slashed.
Could it also be because it's really because I agree with you fully there. The entire market has changed completely. But now we hear news in the last 7 days. Adam from WeWork.
Adam Newman. Yeah.
Adam he raises for a new project 350 million from the same people he just raised 70 million from 6 months ago.
Correct.
And he's actually stopping that project, and they've given him 350 million. So could we be on could we be at the turning point now?
So I think on that specific deal, the deal was led by Andreessen and Horowitz,
Yeah.
and I think what they did was such a smart PR move, because what Andreessen and Horowitz, what they want to do is they want to be a founder-friendly VC. And funding the founder, no one wants to fund, is an excellent message to the founders that we're here and we're going to support your vision. And I think to that aspect, it's a brilliant move, and it only costs them, in compared to their fund size, a relatively small amount. That being said, I think Adam Newman, for all the criticism he's received, and obviously, his management style is well documented, but the one thing that he has proven is that he understands the consumer side of the real estate space. So what consumers want to see. Now, the business side, how to be profitable, how to make money, how to become self-sustainable, that's a good question. But I think, that is kind of a, whether that event is the canary in the coal mine of, maybe spring is coming. I hope so. But to be honest, I don't think we're there yet.
Okay.
Yeah. My opinion is, yes, it was tough 3 or 4 months since it started, but now in August, the investors are waking up. I had few contacts a few days ago, and I think September and October will bring us back to interest from investors, both retail and VCs. And by the end of the year, everything should be better. So it's not that bad bear market. It will not last 2 or 3 years. So few months of downturn is not that bad. So.
Yeah, no, we all needed a rest as well, because last year was quite hectic when it comes down to it. So the thing is, now, if you are a crypto investor, let's take it from that side. Are there any tools or opportunities that you can take while in this bear market that you could sort of make that plan going forward?
Okay, about tools, exactly, I don't know personally.
Okay.
Maybe about strategy, be more sure about investment. Something that we do is dealing with security tokenizing real assets, for example, and it's not the most attractive product, but it's more secure. Okay, so we democratize this access, and it's a good way in the future to diversify your portfolio. Okay. So you always need to diversify, so it could be a part of your portfolio, significant part.
So make wise moves.
Yeah, be more sure about the investment.
Yeah, I see 3 different ways on how we can actually invest and protect our investment during the bear market. So first is CFI companies, so centralized finance companies that essentially manage the risk on behalf of the investor, right? So let's take Swissborg, Yield App, or Celsius as an example, right? And what happens is that you actually deposit your funds and they invest into different DeFi protocols, generating yield for you, right? This can be done during bull market, bear market, and that's perfectly fine if you have not much knowledge about cryptocurrencies, but you still want to earn something, you want to generate some yield. But again, you have to trust those companies. That's a big issue. What happened with Celsius is that it went down a few months ago, losing the funds of all investors. And we have DeFi protocols where you can invest directly into different decentralized finance protocols. Here, the risks are bigger, right? Because the protocol can be hacked, but also the returns are bigger. So if you're a smart investor and if you know which DeFi protocols you want to invest in, or maybe you know the founders and you trust them, that's perfectly fine. You can generate returns up to 10, 15, 20% a year, which is, again, not bad and outperforming the inflation at this moment. And the third tool is actually trading bots. So basically the different trading strategies that you can use for yourself. So let's say there are DCA bots that allow you to DCA currencies while they go down. And then again, it averages your entry price, and then you're much better for the bull market. You have grid bots, so especially that works really well, and that worked really well this summer because we had, and we're still having this huge swing market. where Bitcoin is moving, let's say between 20, 25, 20, 24,000. So it makes you money again if you set up the bot correctly. And also there are some other risk management strategies. For example, Rossi, what we've created, that's exactly done for this purpose, where users don't have to deposit money, just have to connect with their exchange of choice, and basically the bot manages the risk on behalf of the user. So there are those three opportunities that I see.
I would kind of say, as a builder, the three things you can focus on today. One is, let's start building crypto products with real-world use cases. I think building crypto for crypto audiences has been very rewarding in the bull market. Now, obviously, not so much. This is an excellent opportunity to start thinking about where are real-world users that we can bring to the space. The second thing, which is a prerequisite to the first item, is user experience. So, try explaining MetaMask to, an average user on the street. It doesn't work, and it doesn't work for a reason. So rethinking the user experience, and this has been said again and again, but you cannot overstate how important that is. And to give you an example of how important that is, in the neobank space, which is, fintech products, they literally measure the number of clicks you need to take to make your first payment. Okay. And if it's more than 10, it's a bad user experience because the user is already annoyed. So it needs to be super sleek, super easy to use. And the last thing I would say kind of in all of that is compliance. During a bull market, none of the companies work on compliance. I mean, it's a pesky thing. No one wants to think about it. It's in the back burner, but get your licenses, get all of your ducks in a row, make sure the housekeeping is nice and clean, because the companies that want to scale, they need to take the time and go through all of these things. And as annoying as it is, we need to play, by the rules in order to scale and to access users that are outside of the crypto audience.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally agree, but I'm looking for a totally different perspective. So I'm investing in the technology-based products and services for the future. For example, zero knowledge proofs, soul-bound tokens, something that will come in 2 to 3 years. So I agree that user experience is bad and that we need a lot of products. But mid-term and long-term, these changing events like zero knowledge proof, EVM, or something like that will bring a lot of income for the people who invested it. That's my opinion. So I'm a technical guy, so I want to invest into innovations, real innovation, not just moving it a little bit around, but really new products and new technologies. So soul-bound tokens, zero knowledge proofs, and something like that. Basically, Vitalik is talking 1 or 2 years in advance, and if you follow him, you can see what is around the corner for technology.
Which is coming there. As I say, the billionaires are actually made in the bear markets because they have the spare cash to actually invest in these things, which can then explode a couple months later. Now, if you are in the DeFi space, if you do have a token, how can you affect and increase your TVL, your total value locked, within the space during this bear market? Is there anything you can do to make sure that stays there, that doesn't disappear, that your capital doesn't go poof in the night?
Sure, so I can comment a little bit on this one. So again, we have a risk management tool, and the tool is already out, so we have to attract customers, we have to attract people. Now, how do we do it? So what I see in this bear market, 2 ways really work well. So first one is influencers. But influencers that really want to use your product, right? So I'm not talking about just simply shilling when you pay the influencer something and then he talks good about you. And what we do, we call different opinion leaders, and then we say, hey, look, we developed this tool, check it out. If you like it, you can comment a little bit about it. And I see this working pretty well because there are a few people that, maybe have a conversion rate of 1 or 2%, which is also already good. But basically, they talk about your product if they like it, right? And they talk to their audience, and that's how you can massively increase your TVL, because if they have a great audience, they will come to you, they will try your platform even in the bear market. That's the first one. And the second is, again, go to people like hedge funds and asset managers, because what those people do, they always invest regardless if it's a bear market or if it's a bull market. And what you have to do, you can go to LinkedIn and you can contact a bunch of people that you don't even know, and guaranteed some of them, they will like your project, they will like your business, and they will want to work with you. So it's just about the outnumbering your competitors and really going and getting what you want.
So it's a good time to market. So, what do you think, Josipa?
I agree. I actually think from an investor's perspective, things are suboptimal in the crypto space. But if you look at the macro situation in general, things are pretty tough as well. Yeah. So if you look Europe alone, I mean, whether it's public markets, whether it's, the situation in general with the inflation, with the wars going on, it's a lot of asset managers are thinking where to diversify, and they're looking at crypto. On the growth aspect, I would also say, kind of agreeing with what you said earlier, we can take a note out of Silicon Valley's playbook, which is, one has been the classical way in the bull market, which is the way you grow is the way you throw huge marketing budgets at it. And, if it works, it works. And then if it doesn't work, you throw some more money. But the thing is, new models of growth only work if you really use kind of product-led growth, meaning if you incentivize your existing users to invite other users. It does sound annoying, but it really, if you take a look at any successful growth models that we've seen, especially on the consumer side, fintechs, neobanks, crypto products, they only work if the referral works really well. And this is a good moment to rethink how you can kind of mobilize that end user and what can you give them in order to incentivize them. But I think crypto projects in general have a much easier hand than that than traditional projects, because traditional companies, they literally raise a bunch of money. They spend 50% of the raise literally on acquiring users through Facebook and through Google. And these are suboptimal users. Their churn is through the roof, and they're really in a vicious cycle of fundraising and then buying not so good users. So I think for us, it's really about how can we mobilize and incentivize that end user to invite more similar users.
I'm again coming from a different angle. I think that for blockchain it's very important to get big enterprises into the game. So not to go through the end users, but big enterprises like Facebook or Meta, but also Mercedes or some big companies to come in and give us their users. So if we solve their problems like identity management, whatever, through better solutions, we will get hundreds of thousands of users through the enterprise. So now blockchain is not so good with communication with the big, very big companies, especially industry companies. And if we solve that, the number of users and value will be increased enormously.
So as a takeaway from this, what I'm really getting is that the bear market is great for the guys who built during the previous bear and were sort of there in the bull. It's not great if you're starting a project because you just don't have the funds to build, but it's a great time for customer acquisition, be it through the big brands supporting you, or be it direct to consumer at the end of the day on this. To be very fair, I really like that what you talked about of the revenue sort of incentive models of customers bringing on customers, because essentially that's where we're going with Web3 now. Anyway, so it's now the time, be you in the sort of crypto space or the traditional space, to implement some form of Web3 token where you can give back to your consumers in this space. Now, we only have 1 minute left. So the last thing I'm just going to ask, just two last questions. What is the best positive takeaway you can take from a bear market?
I mean, to be pretty straight, again, I mean, go focus on your business, your client, as she said, as everybody said already. I mean, work on your product, make it cool, and focus on user experience always.
Okay. Lukas?
The key takeaway from the bear market is that it's an opportunity to make generational wealth, and you simply have to check the projects that you like and check the businesses that you like and simply invest in them. And if you have some spare money, that bull markets in crypto are crazy. The tokens can go up to 100 or 1000x, and then you really can make a good living out of it. So if you're smart, and again, in crypto, everything is so open. So what you can do, you can simply write the projects that you like on Telegram. Just connect with the founders. That's so easy in the crypto space, right? Not everybody, but the majority of people are really friendly, right? So build the relationships, invest in the projects you like, and you'll be good to go.
Okay.
I agree. Buying products that are at the discount or tokens that are at the discount. And the second is you get to see people's true motivation. So some of them are for the short-term cash. You don't need them if you're building a product. And then some of them are here for the long run, and you can network and connect with those people.
Amazing.
Yeah, great. So build your network, both the users and the partners. Now it's easier to get a partner to speak with the people and to get really feedback.
So a great takeaway from this is come to more of these events, be it more of the AIBC events, and network, because you never know where that's going to take you in the future. Last question. When is this bear market ending?
Q4 of this year.
Q4.
December 2022.
Q1 next year.
Q1 next year?
End of the year, yeah.
End of the year. Okay. I'm actually saying Q3, end of. So hopefully we're going to be out of this very soon. Thank you very much. This was Staying Bullish in the Bear Market. A big round of applause for our panels.